Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to BlenderSith. This, for those of you that were in the Discord the past couple of days, things have changed. It looks like I'm going to skip the normal. I told you I was going to have about a month or a month and a half or so of Blender to default Blender, teaching people basic 3D, vertices, edges, loop, all that kind of introduction to 3D and everything, so people are familiar. Because later on, I don't even know where to start with this. First of all, the subscriptions are climbing. By the way, don't forget to hit that subscribe button since we're on the topic. I just got a new subscriber about an hour ago while I was planning this video and trying to think of what to say. Let me see. Who is it? Let's look up here. Yeah, 1 hour ago. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Uh, okay, yeah, whatever that is. Cool picture, though. Yeah, so we're up to 150 subscribers now, which is awesome. And, like I said, this channel and the 11 other ones was basically made for, probably no more than 25 people at the most. And that's my social media followers and stuff. You guys all know the story. They want to learn how to make money online. I've got other channels, filmmaking, music, cooking, and a few other, channels thrown in there on different topics. The actual Make Money Online channel, where that's all devoted to that affiliate marketing and all of that. But anyway, I'm digressing. Which, again, I spent time in all of those. Some of them have memberships. I think two of them have websites with memberships in them. And even Blender here. Blender's got a Patreon page for those that are wanting to learn gaming, specifically adult gaming. But, I mean, you could it's the same thing. I mean, where I'm teaching you how to make 3D adult games, but, I mean, you could take the same thing and turning into any first-person shooter or whatever you want to do. It's the same philosophy, just the subject's changed. That's all. Instead of a sci-fi first-person shooter, it's a sci-fi porn game made in space. I mean, it's no different. It's so you can take it and apply it to any game you want to make. But the actual game is done with Blender and Unreal Engine 5. There's also adult visual novels that I'm teaching people to do, and that's with Blender. Well, actually, Daz 3D, Blender, and RenPy as the engine to run the novel. That's for people that are into that. But back here, apparently, I'm getting a lot of requests for Fluent Materializer, and that is the topic that I originally opened with. I've decided after the past couple of days on Discord to scratch the Blender intros and all that and everything, and I guess we'll just do Fluent and Fluent Materializer. I'll get modeling, because I'm going to be modeling furniture and we'll be doing characters and doing all the stuff we need to do, because you need that in everything. This is mainly for the adult people, but you need scenes. Forget about the porn and all that stuff. You're placing your girls in scenes. A bedroom, a living room, a kitchen, a garage. Outside in the forest. Whatever. And this is strictly all 3D. The whole scene is 3D, so you got to build everything. You'll have to build, if you're in a living room looking out a glass window into a backyard, with a fence and a pool, and some tree, a couple of trees and some shrubs, if that's your scene and your girl is standing, let's say you got her standing naked in the curtains, with a little bitty silhouette. Now, there's a lot that goes into that. We're talking, first of all, modeling everything, compositing it all, getting the lighting right, color grading, putting it into Photoshop and doing post work, and all, we're talking a lot of stuff here if you want it to look nice. If you don't, then you're probably not going to do well with adult novels because you see, you're taking a risk here because you're creating the novel and you put it up for free, or like the first chapter or 2 chapters, whatever you want to do. Novels are usually long. They're usually, they can run 6 to 9 hours, a full novel, because there's story arc. The player, as the novel reads on and everything, you're given choices, and depending on what choice you make, it will change the story. Now, you have one arc that goes, completely storyline. There's not a lot of sex. It's story driven. Probably more romantic and this and that, and more character driven. Then you might have another choice, where it's a little more sex, a little more involved. Then another choice where it's more your fourth choice, which is straight on porn, and and people might not take those 4 independent paths. They might flip flop around. They might go down path 1, and then all of a sudden the next choice they'll jump over to the 4th path. And then they'll come up to another choice. Then they'll jump back to 2 or 3. And they'll be all over the place. But the point is, for them to finish the whole game and cover all 4 scenarios and see everything in your game, usually developers will make these games 8 to 12 hours long, for you to cover the full scenario. And guess what? That is a shit load of modeling and compositing and making things. And forgive my French there, YouTube. But, yeah. I mean, we're talking images. We're talking thousands. It could be images. Just think about it. 9 to 12 hours, of a novel. And each, probably a paragraph or so. Think of it as a movie. Each scene has, at least 1 or 2 pictures, that are set in that scene for, 4 or 5 sentences. And then the scene changes, for the next 4 or 5, 10 sentences. Then it changes again like that. And, that is a lot of modeling. So, yeah, you need to know 3D. You need to know, but because you don't want to spend time, you're like, oh my God, how do my vertices are stuck together, and how do I separate, or how do I combine them, or this, you don't need to be running onto a problem, and then now all of a sudden you got to hit Discord, and I've said this before, you got to hit Discord, and you got to hit YouTube, and find the right video where someone's helping you on the exact problem that you're having, and then you see the fix seems to be working in their video, but you try the exact same thing on your computer and it doesn't work. So, now what could possibly be, and why is it working on his computer and not my computer? And these are things that, come up, and you need to know how to fix these things. You need to know, because you're wasting time, man. You got a buttload of fucking modeling to do, and if you're taking, an hour or 2, to solve problems, every 5 hours, every 5 hours you run into a problem where it takes you an hour or 2 to solve it. I mean, you are just adding to your misery. A novel that will take you, it's going to take you a year, is going to end up taking you 2 to 2.5 years, to get through completely, because of all your, learning, on the job. But I guess if that's how you want to go, because like I said, I got add-ons, and that's what this show, that's what this channel is mainly about. Teaching you guys how to make money using Blender. That's the channel. This is not a Blender tutorial channel, so to speak. Even though I'm teaching things, because you can't use Blender unless you know 3D. That's the whole purpose of me teaching you 3D. Now, yes, there's tons and tons of basic, 3D online, where they teach you how to do the interfaces, like split the screen like this, and everything. I mean, you can see that all over. Vertices and edges, and, all that stuff. But, people like to learn from who they're subscribed to and who they trust, And that's why I just repeat it, do the same thing, because I got my style, as you know, my videos and stuff, and my style, it's for a select few. Because as you can tell, I'm just talking right here, but add-ons are here to save you time. That's why they cost money, because a developer had to develop them, and that's how he's making money with Blender. He's selling add-ons or selling materials or selling models, whatever. But developers develop add-ons and sell add-ons, and that's how they make their money. And we use the add-ons because we're making money and making assets and stuff, and we want to save time. And the add-ons save us time, such as retopologizing. I didn't have this installed in my last video. I just got this one installed because I told you this is a new, this is 3.1.2. I've been using 3.0 for the longest time because I don't really upgrade until I really, really have to, because it takes me it takes me a while when I get a stock install to set it up the way I want it, to install all of my add-ons, do all the paths and everything. For those of you that are into KitOps and decal machine, how you have to go in there and set up all the folders and everything to where everything is, and all that stuff. That's fine if KitOps is all you have, or you have KitOps and decal machine, and that's it. That's all you have for those things. But I've got a whole bunch of add-ons, that need to have paths and stuff set. And like I was telling you, Retopoflow. This is what I use to retopologize my models. Whether I sculpt them or if I'm going to clothes for them. Like my dad's models, I make their own outfits, because they're goth. Most of the time they're goth looking chicks and stuff, and I do my own clothes. And I got another add-on that also does clothes and everything, and it's got a library kind of. I don't have it installed yet, or do I? Nope. I don't have it. And this is another add-on. This is the asset library by Top One-on-One, or Top Channel One-on-One. I think so. But and like I said, these can get expensive if you're into this. I mean, this add-on I think was $20. Retopoflow here is like $89, I believe. And RanTools, and I mean Zen UV. This can get crazy, and and I got Boutique. The add-on with all the nature, all the trees, bushes and stuff. They got fabulous trees and everything, and that's another $80, $89 or $90 add-on, and everything. And I try not to recommend those, to my beginners, because those are steep investments, to get into. But I'll be covering them here. Because people got to see my workflow, how I do things, so you can get a sense of how fast things can go when you got to put together a whole scene. If you got to put together a living room with a backyard and all that stuff, well, I go ahead and make my assets, and I either put them, in K-packs, like right here, all these K-packs that are from different people and my own, I either put them in K-packs, so all I got to do is just, pick a K-pack right here, and it's going slow because I'm recording, but I get a whole list of here's interiors, and like beams and walls and floors, and I mean I can throw stuff together, and this helps me out a lot in the novel that I'm doing for my Patreon right now, because I'm making a new novel. It's a sci-fi adult novel. And so Greasy Bears, probably 80% of this novel is going to be built by Greasy Bear's assets right here. And the materials, the materials and stuff that I have from Chip and these HSE, all these here, and a couple other ones. I've got jewelry in here, which I got an add-on for jewelry. Where is it? Right here. Ornament gem, And this is another add-on that I got. Here's the gold, the silver, organic materials, organic gems, precious metals, semi-precious gems, colored metals, gold, silver. Um, and I'm throwing these scenes together, with this, and my asset. Where did the asset go? The asset library right here. I just installed this, so I got to set up, all my folders, and everything. But I've got assets and stuff that I've modeled, chairs and beds and stuff. So I like fancy, richy, wealthy novels and stuff, like billionaires and wealthy people. So I like to make mansions and yachts, and I got a collection of cars that I have both a K-Pack for, and I'm going to put in my library right here. And they're, muscle cars, like your Camaros, your Z28s, your Mustangs, GTOs, and all that stuff. I got a collection of exotic cars, like your Ferraris, your Lamborghinis, and all that stuff. And then I got a collection of luxury cars, like your Mercedes, your Rolls, and, all that stuff, and different models, and everything like that. Because, we all like to see girls posed, next to, really good looking cars, because it's a better scene. But like the scene with the living room and the backyard and everything, I throw that together with assets in no time. I throw up a wall, throw a window into the wall, throw a floor down, throw some chairs and some tables and everything. And these are all coming out of assets that I've already made ahead of time. And that's what I'm going to be showing you guys with Fluent and Materializer here. I'm going to be making some assets. We're going to be making some tables, some chairs. And so we'll start out basic, because I'm going to teach you guys Blender one way or the other. So I'm going to use Fluent. We're going to make some chairs, start out basic, and then we'll get more advanced as we go. But I'm going to teach you about modeling and everything as we go and build these assets. You'll learn, about, the spin tool, the twist tool, and deformers and modifiers and constraints and all of that stuff as we go. And, these, if this doesn't crash, Blender, no, it didn't. But you see over here, we got our particles, we got our physics, and our constraints and all that stuff. We'll be using these, the particles, constraints, and physics and stuff will be in animations. The modifiers we'll be using a lot of for transitions in our novel, because you got to provide some excitement, for your novel. Because, like I said, these are given away free because you got to hook the people. You got to have a compelling story to draw them into your first chapter or second, first two chapters, whatever it is you're giving away free. If you have a 10-chapter novel, you might want to give away the first two chapters for free. And that's your hook, And then from there, you have Subscribestar or itch.io and Patreon. Those are the channels where people can sign up for different, like on Patreon, for different levels, and they can get poster pinups of your girls, and both, 1K, 2K, and 4K resolution, for a $1 level, a $5 level, and a $10 level. They can get access to the game, like a $10 level could get access to your game, 2 weeks or a month, before it becomes public. And they can offer input. They can, help you design characters, offer ideas, and everything. And that's what, those are all rewards that come with the different levels. And that's how you make money with your novel. And if you're not good at making stories, and if if your scenes are horrible, if your scenes look like an amateur made it, and your story's not good, and and everything like that, well then no one's going to support you. So you gotta make pride in what you're doing, make what you're doing the best that it can. That's with anything. If you're just making models to sell on TurboSquid or CG Cookie or any of the other platforms, I like 3D Ocean. I like all the Envato networks and stuff like that, but and Blender Market. It doesn't matter where you're selling it, but if you don't take pride in it, if you don't make your chair or your table or everything, be unique, look, really fantastic, great materials on it, and then your marketing scene, you got to make a picture because you got to have your picture up there to sell it. So you got to put it in a selling setting where the lighting is great, and everything, and it looks good. It makes people want to buy it. Once they buy it and everything, and once they put your chair or table into their scene, can they get it that look? No, probably not. Because, like I said, all about lighting. You know about rendering and compositing and post work. You've put a lot of work in getting that render to look the way it is. They might not have. And they might be under the misimpression. They might see this your thing, and they might think when they buy it, all they got to do is drag it into Blender, and it's all set up for them. They might not know that you didn't include the textures and and everything. And for a lot of maybe you didn't want to include the textures. Maybe the license for the textures are you have, but you can't resell. There's a lot of reasons that people and developers and stuff don't include textures and other stuff in their scene, and those are the reasons. They might have bought these assets themselves, and the license is exclusive to them, and they can't resell it or use it in client work, and everything. These are things that you don't know. It's not that they screwed you or cheated you out of it. They just might not be able to do it. They're assuming that you want the asset. You need a table. They're assuming that you have an idea of how you want your table to look. And everything. And that's what they're providing. They're providing a good picture, to draw you in and want to get it. But, they're trying to understand, that, okay, he just wants the table because he needs it and he's going to texture it and everything the way he, wants it. Because the color of my table that I have in my picture, your room might be of a different color, and my color just doesn't match yours. So you're going to have to change it anyway. There's stuff like that going on that a lot of people that buy these assets beginners that buy these assets don't take into account. Professionals that, professional artists and people that know what they're doing, they understand. They know they know what's going on. So they never have an issue when they buy something. They know what they got to do. They know what they want it for. They know how it's going to look in the end. Usually they're buying it because they know they're going to change everything on it anyway. So it doesn't matter if it comes with textures or not. This is what this video is about. I don't know. For the YouTube people, like I said, I don't know what to tell you guys if you're still listening. Because like I said, this was already talked about for the past couple of days, and this video was supposed to get people started on learning Blender and learning 3D and everything. Now I got to figure out, what I want to model. I might just make up we might just do some generic stuff, because I don't want to model, I don't want to show anything that's going into my novel, because for one, that's on Patreon, which people are paying for, and I don't want to give away any, of my story or anything, because I don't want that known until I release the novel. But we're gonna do some modeling stuff, and we're gonna make some assets and everything, and that's what we'll do. We'll make some assets and maybe put together a K-Pack, and I'll show you guys how to do your own K-Pack and KitOps. Let me pull up my panel here. We'll put everything into a K-Pack for KitOps, and I'll show you guys how to use the asset library for those of you because this is nice. I can type in here, what I want, and it'll come up right here in this drop-down menu. Like if I put table, all my tables that are in the asset, this is basically a fancy asset browser. For people that have Blender 3.0 or higher that have the asset browser. This is just a fancy version of it, and it's got the objects. It's got materials, and you can have collections in it, and categories. You can categorize everything, and all that stuff. See, add asset to scene, and all that stuff. It's basically like KitOps. Same thing here. Add insert, add material, same kind of, I guess you could say same kind of thing, but different. But when you got as many add-ons as I do, that's I got add-ons that do all kinds of shit. Like RanTools, and we got HardOps here, and we got Fluent, and like like I said, I can cover everything, and I like I like all of these. I use all of them. Different time. I might wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I need to make a bedroom. I need to make a kitchen. You know what? I'm going to use RanTools today, or I'm going to use grid Grid Monkey, or I'm going to use Fluent today for, like that. But I guess we're going to have to do some Fluent and Fluent Materializer and get you guys going. And I understand the reason why. There's not a whole lot of Fluent and Fluent Materializer tutorials out on the internet, on YouTube. I think the biggest one is CG Seb. He's probably the one that does the most tutorials out there. CG Thought is the guy that develops it. He puts a tutorial out, on an update, when a new update comes out and everything. But he spends most of his time updating the add-on and not really, doing tutorials. And it just doesn't have the coverage that HardOps has on YouTube. Now, it gets it gets a lot of sales, and I know because I've sold a lot through my affiliate link, and I sold 3. I sold a Fluent and 2 Fluent Materializers this month. So, yeah, people are buying them, and still buying it, and want to use it, and probably because it's simpler than HardOps. HardOps is, it's going to take, someone just buying HardOps and just, getting into it, for the first time. It's going to take you a while, to get used to it and learn it. And you'll pick up Fluent much quicker, in my opinion. But like I said, that'll be for the next video. We'll get into that. We'll start modeling. I swear, I'm not going to pay attention. I love my viewers. I love my subscribers. I guess that's why I've gotten up to 150 so quick. But my problem is, and I knew this, before going in, my problem is I love trying to please everybody, and you just can't do that because you just end up like so far, like I have so far. You end up all over the place. I'm just going to have to say, okay, this is it. This is what we're going to do. And go in that direction. Over time, I'll have a library of videos here that people can come back and learn RanFlow. They can learn RanTools. They can learn HardOps, and everything. Once I got content here for all of those, and I don't have to jump around so much like I am now. So hopefully we can get to that level. But right now it's one step at a time. So the first step is going to be with Fluent. We're going to get that out of the way, and then once we got enough content on Fluent to hold it for a little while, then we'll switch into another add-on and go over that and get everybody done with that. Then we'll just move on from there. Probably we'll go with Fluent, then maybe HardOps, Fluent, and then we'll get into RanTools, and then we'll get into HardOps. We'll use HardOps last since it's a little more complicated than everybody else. We'll do all the happy mediums in between. And that way, by the time we get to HardOps, you guys should be able to follow along fairly easy with everything that HardOps has. And with that, again, love you guys that have watched this far and this long. Again, hit that subscribe button. Click that bell. Make sure you get notified of all the updates and everything, because I don't know, like I said, it's going to be on Wednesday. Wednesday is going to be the release date for the videos here, but I'm so, far, there's so much I got to do right now because of my other channels and my Patreon and my memberships and stuff. It might not be every week, just so I understand that. There might be a week or two that, nothing happens, but we'll eventually get there. I just got a lot going on, so with that, I'll catch you guys in the next video, and hope you enjoyed this one. Comment below, for those of you that are still here. This is the payoff. Comment below your thoughts on everything. I'm sticking with Fluent for a while now, and doing that on my way of doing videos. If you like it, if you don't, blah blah blah. Well, I get plenty of views every day, so I guess someone likes it. But so with that, I'll catch you guys next video. For those that are subscribed and get notified, that is. And we'll see you then. Have fun, all.